It's the middle of the week. It's Wednesday, July the 12th. I am at Joel Pearl. It's time to get in the weeds here on Fightful Overbooked. Jeremy Lambert's with me as he always is. It's good to see you, Jeremy. How you doing?
I'm well. Am I always here? Sometimes I miss shows. I might miss Friday's show, but I'm here today.
Well, it's good to know that you might miss Friday's show.
No, I might miss Friday's show.
It's valid. I think I did know that.
I told you this.
Your visage looks good. Your hair and your beard. It looks you look good.
Yeah, I that's why I had to leave early on Monday. But yes, I had to go get this mange cut to look good for my mother, and then I thought about just going clean shaven because she hates when I do that. So I was going to troll her, and I decided not to because like I don't like being clean shaven. It's literally just to troll my mom, but it's an inconvenience to me, so I didn't want to fully do that. We're juxtaposed. I can't say that word, Joel.
You write for a living.
No, I don't. It's all AI.
It's all ChatGPT articles.
Yeah. That's a scoop for everybody. I don't write anything. It is all AI that writes my stuff. I give it a little bit of information. I say Google cage match, learn how to use that, and it does all the work for me. It's honestly fantastic. It's great. Juxtaposed. Yeah, that's the word that I was looking for. Shutdown Spurs. You're wearing all black. I'm wearing my Bryan Danielson tribute shirt, all white here. I'm the baby face. As I learned on Reddit, I'm big time baby face on Reddit, and you're the heel.
No, Jeremy, I was a moron and my name was spelled incorrectly. So I have that going for me.
Is there going to talk about today? Should I just like pull this up? This Reddit comment that nobody else really saw. I saw it and I thought it was hilarious.
They pulled it down too. Like the mods pulled it down.
Oh, did they? I didn't know that.
Thread. So I went. So okay, let's peel the curtain back. What Jeremy and I are talking about is
I got the comment. Hold on.
You have the comment.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
It is specifically a Reddit thread that was up. It wasn't up for too long, but it got enough traction. It was essentially someone asking about whether or not Fightful and Sean specifically create toxicity in the internet wrestling community. Those were basically their words. When you get a thread like that, Jeremy, you're basically you basically projected your feelings before you've even shared them. So clearly people who were of like mind decided to say the same things. And there was a specific comment that Jeremy brought to a few of our attention that made him look great. So clearly he's in love with it.
So I saw this thread yesterday because I all these social media things are terrible. I've done a social media Twitter rant before. Like we use them because it helps us stay in contact, honestly. Like, do you know how many bookings we've gotten just from like reaching out on Twitter DMs and stuff? Like it really helps us stay in contact. For me as a news writer, it helps me stay up to date on like news and stuff. And Reddit is very good. Actually, found a interview with Chris Jericho and Darby Allin this morning through the Reddit thread. Somebody posted it there, and then so I went through it. So like it's good for news stuff, right? But we know there's a lot of shitty people. Sorry, I cursed within the first 5 minutes. Apologies, Joel. Okay. All right. There's a lot of terrible people just on social media in general. So I saw this thread of like, does Fightful contribute to this? And I'm like, we all contribute to it, if I'm being honest. Like, we all contribute to it because everybody's going to take something the wrong way no matter what. Like, I'm trolling a lot with my tweets and stuff, but people are going to be like, oh, you're such a toxic person with this. I'm like, man, I'm just having fun on Twitter. Don't take it serious. But like, when you do stuff like that, Sean, he'd post the WWE arena is empty. It's like, oh, this is so toxic. It's like, we're having fun. You just knock it off. If you're going to take it as negative and be in, oh, this is so toxic and everything, then yeah, you're going to find the negativity in it. But like, it's our personal account. If we want to make jokes and stuff, we're going to make jokes. So I'm scrolling through this thread and it's a lot of like, oh, Sean arguing with people, a lot of sour graps diss. It's like, it's in the friggin' title of the show. They're going to like kind of nitpick and be jerks about things. Like it's literally right there in front of you that they are going to be negative. Like it's there. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. Just don't. And now their show has turned into like a variety show with like impressions and stuff. I have no idea what's happening
They
on that show
do a
most days.
damn jukebox at the end of each
Yeah.
show. Like Alex is getting these ideas to sing songs as wrestlers. Like if you take that shit seriously, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's just people are comments. I saw that their dolls up. There was rare times on Reddit, Chi-Town's Fairies. It was essentially, why doesn't Fightful like WWE as much as me? So anyway, I'm scrolling. It's all largely Sean related. Some Denise, some Sour Graps, and other stuff. Come across this comment that I screenshot because it popped me so much, and I have it right here for everybody. I'm gonna read this out loud, but you can also see it on the screen. But for our audio listeners, you'll get the full comment. I unsubscribed and stopped following all of them for the same reason. Alex is the fan who gets mad whenever what his idea of how a wrestling angle story feud should go doesn't happen. He gets mad about it and has some of the worst fantasy bookfin, I think that's booking ideas. Bookfin ideas I have ever heard. I couldn't take it anymore, and thanks to doing shows with him, Kate is the same way. Sean has become so sensitive and thin-skinned, he can't even take the smallest criticism. Joe Pearl is a moron, factual.
Who
and the
is
owner
Joe Pearl?
RJ City called you Joe Pearl. He clearly wrote this comment. Joe Pearl is a moron, and the owner, Jimmy, is a libertarian who spent all the 2020 complaining about our Canada's lockdown procedures because it was hurting his bottom line. The only one I like is Jeremy Lambert.
Okay, can we let's back up one thing on this. My favorite part of the comment, believe it or not, is actually the Jimmy comment. Because what this dickhead doesn't realize is that Jimmy's bottom line went real finely up during the pandemic. Jimmy was just not enjoying the fact that, his office wasn't open at the office he worked in at the time. He since sold as part of that company anyway. I love these dumbass comments that assume they know everyone's feelings about everything, especially the whole Kate's the same way. Like, I do a show with Kate and she is not like that on our show at all. It's a bit, you dork.
It's so I was thinking about this today of
Jeremy.
I've posted like one time on Reddit, like in the past year or so, and I post when like people see the Danielson meme and they post that thread on Reddit, and it's just a bunch of praise for me, which I'm actually like popular on Reddit. I don't know if this is good or bad, but I do think they like me on Reddit. But I'm just posting like, oh yes, like thank you, I appreciate that. Hey, Alex is here. Hello, Alex.
Oh no. Alex, do you listen to us normally, or did somebody tip you off that we were doing?
Oh, I'm sorry if you listen to us normally, Alex. I apologize. If you're free, do you want to come on the show?
Yes.
By the way,
come and come and rebut these comments.
Yeah. If you're free, I assume you have the StreamYard link. Just pop on in, or I'll send it to you if you need it. But if you're free, please come on the show. Yeah, I'm popular on Reddit for some reason on here. Grabsody was actually not spared too much in the comments on there.
So I saw the opposite. I saw people praising Grabsody and people saying it was the only thing that they watched on Fightful, and I was like, all right, I get it.
For the most, like, yes, there were Grabsody's like praised more than anybody outside of myself. But like Grabsody was praised, but there were a few people who were just like, ever since Will went to AEW, all they've done is praise AEW and don't say anything mean about it now. It's like, no, Reg is over here calling ROH AEW dark and stuff, and he spent all day defending that take yesterday.
And on top of it, I don't know. The Denise praise was hilarious because people were just like, yeah, Denise is great. And then other people being like, yeah, but she doesn't actually work on the site. She works there one day a week. And I'm like, so do most of the
others. It's so what I was going back to my original comments of whenever is I was thinking about like when we're doing this show or when we're doing like any of these shows or when we're online and bantering and tweeting and stuff, like I'll speak for myself. I can't speak for everybody. I will speak for myself here. Like it is very much a turned up personality. And I think people, for the most part, like understand that. Thank you, Pulowski. I hope you have a good day, buddy. I think people for the most part like kind of understand that. And when I tweet, like it's very tongue in cheek, trolly type stuff because I just like to have fun with wrestling. I don't take wrestling serious at all. Like there's certain stuff that sure you're meant to take serious and whatnot, but like it's professional wrestling. You know what I mean? Like it's not. It's fun. We have fun with it, but that's what it is. It is fun. It is a job hobby to a lot of us. There's no reason to like to me, just be angry at any of this stuff because WWE or AEW is not listening to my ideas and everything. Like, I think that's stupid if you actually like get legitimately angry at that. If you're emotionally invested, awesome, great. Like more power to you. I have been there as a fan. I think we've all been there as fans. Like that is good. But if you're like actually getting angry over people's takes over this, just knock it off. So it's very much like a personality for me, like turned up. Then like I will talk to my wife is very angry of, yeah, it's great until they fuck over Sami Zayn and she just quits WWE forever. She's so heated about this. So heated about this.
Happy birthday, Sammy, by the way. Donate to Sammy for Syria. He's matching up to $20,000.
So like it's a personality turned up. And like you will see this in our on-screen banter and stuff. And I might make fun of certain things and I might poke fun at certain things and have fun with a lot. But then like if you actually like saw me interact with people off screen or in DMs and stuff, like you would just see that it's not a fully different person, but there's an actual human to a lot of us that you might not understand when we're just doing our wrestling banter and stuff. I'm not gonna share exactly who all this is, but there's certain people that I poke fun of a lot on this show, and it is all Joel Pearl, for example, and it's a lot in jest and everything. And then I will message these people after the show or throughout the week, and like we just have real human conversations and check in on each other and see how we were doing and stuff. But if you only see like our interactions on this show or on like public Twitter and stuff, you probably think like, did they actually get along? Is there real like issue here? Like, does he really not like this stuff? And like, yeah, it goes down to the level of like Joel and you know people we work with, but there's also level of like higher ranking people in legitimate professional wrestling companies to where yeah we check in on each other. But if you just get public stuff, you would be like, wait a second, how friendly Sean and Shazza is a good example, right? Like people like they hate each other and because they poke fun. It's like they're actually friends. I hate to tell everybody this, but yeah, it's so like just think about that when we're doing this nonsense that we do on these shows and in public forums on Twitter and stuff.
The only real heat is me and Steve Macklin. Okay, the only real beef that and again I respect the hell out of Macklin. I talk about him on shows and I'm honest, but I'm also I'm the first one to praise who he is as a human being, and I'm the first, well, other than Sean, the first one to go out of my way to be like, nah, dude is stand up. So yeah, I think a lot of people get so invested in what they see on screen that 1 to 2 hours a day, maybe a week, whatever it is that they see us, they don't realize that there's 24 hours in that day. And that, you know, once upon a time, I'll pull the curtain back when Jeremy and I were doing Twitch stuff. And when we were racking our brains on different content stuff, like there were nights where we'd be up until 5 a.m. just chatting about everything going on in our lives. This is before I had a kid. This is before Jeremy got married. Like there was just life stuff, and we were in the middle of a pandemic where we didn't know what the hell we were doing with our lives, professionally speaking, in my case at least. So yeah, we on the air, Jeremy and Joel is different but similar.
Dead.
Yeah, that's right. I'll pull that curtain
killed
back.
It all.
In the name of normalcy, yeah, kayfabe is dead. Okay, in the name of Fightful being the toxic whatever you think it is, I promise you it's not. And people come in like they come and go with their fandom too. You know, once upon a time, I used to talk about listening to Sour Graps while I like rage cleaned my apartment, and I don't listen as much anymore because A, it's a timing thing, and B, I don't feel the same way about WWE right now, so I don't need that extra motivation to feel that way. Alex does a wonderful job. Whether he truly 100% feels the way he feels about WWE's booking, that's up to you guys when you watch his show and listen to his show. And sorry, Kate's there too. Who cares? It's Alex's show. But my point in general is just like you take from what you get in fandom, and you take from that with what you're watching other people talk about as well. But at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of humans talking about a show we're not involved with. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give it
That's look, does Fightful contribute to the toxic nature of wrestling Twitter or whatever? Again, I think we all in some way contribute to the toxic nature of wrestling Twitter, because we all just kind of look at the negative of stuff. And even if you are positive, then it becomes like, oh, there's too much positivity. And this is toxic as well. I just think wrestling, like social media in general, and really just social media in general, because you can find this on NBA Twitter as well, just kind of sucks. And so, like, just don't pay attention to a lot of that. And I think that's where people go wrong, is like, this is what I can't stand about like the star ratings discourse, is like people want to look at other people's opinion to validate their own or to argue against their own. And it's like, why are you looking for that validation? Why are you looking for that argument? Oh, I did a joking tweet, literally just to troll Steven Jensen. Like that's half of my tweets is just to troll my friends on Twitter. But I was just like, Cody has to come out and be like, come on, crowd, come on. Whoa, let me tell you this story. Let me pop to the hometown crowd, Buffalo. Let me look around and everything. He's got to do all this stuff just to get a reaction. Like, you know what LA Knight does? He just says one word and he gets red. It is literally to troll Steven Jensen, the biggest Cody fan in the world, and for some reason hates LA Knight or doesn't understand the LA Knight love. That's why I made that tweet, just to troll him. That's it. And then I got people in my mentions of like, you're going to turn everybody against LA Knight. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Like, oh, I agree with you. The LA Knights, like, people are just looking to like validate their own opinion or just argue with your opinion on this stuff. It's like, why? I'm not that important. Nobody in this space is honestly that important when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, we're just out here. Your opinion is just as valid as mine, honestly. Like, I just happen to have this platform. We just happen to have this platform, but like, it doesn't make I'm not the end all be all, especially when I'm just trolling stuff. But even if I give a match, hey, when you go back to star ratings, even if I give a match like 4.5 stars, it doesn't mean anything. Like, I enjoyed the match. If you enjoyed it less than I did or more than I did, awesome. Great. I'm glad you found something in it that you enjoyed more than I did. And if you disliked it, okay, that's fine. That's completely valid. Just don't look for others who honestly like, who are we in the grand scheme of things? Don't look for us to like validate your own feelings. CM Punk has this, I'm pretty sure it's like still his pen tweet, which is hilarious, of like, don't take advice from people who like whatever. Friggin' Kate's in the chat, she'll know CM Punk's pen tweet, but it's like, just don't take advice from people who you wouldn't
ask
give
advice
advice.
from.
Yeah, something like that. My favorite is a Royce the 5'9" lyric on a song called Caterpillar, which like, don't let people stand next to you who don't want the best for you. It's like, yeah, that's how you should look at it with like opinion. If like if these people don't care about you and don't understand like what's actually going on in your life and everything, like, don't look for them for any type of validation on things, especially if it's friggin' wrestling opinions. Okay. If you want to talk to Joel or I about actual life stuff, like we care about people as human beings. If you were just like, I'm gonna go to Jeremy to get his opinion on Roman Reigns' title reign, and whatever he says is what it is, like that's the validation that I need. It's like, nah, man, like it's wrestling. Whatever you say is good. Like that's all the validation you need on this stuff, honestly.
Oh, they're 20 minutes in and they're just talking about nothing. They're not talking about wrestling.
Really not. We're really not talking about anything at all.
Someone in the YouTube comments is already like armed and ready with that one. By the way, speaking of the YouTube comments, leave a thumbs up here on the video if you haven't already, because we're in on one here while we get in the weeds. And subscribe to us here at Fightful Overbooked. We usually get pretty heated, I guess. No, we don't. We try. Depends what we're doing. Depends what's going on. And you can donate a super chat, support us here at Fightful Overbooked. All the money goes towards paying people not named Joel, Jeremy, or Kate, which that's wonderful.
Oh, Joel's got heat and he's not getting paid for any of this.
I'm
so much heat. Do you want to talk about this, Joel? Do we want to talk about this now?
Jeremy, I don't think I get paid enough for this job. No, people are very well aware that I love this channel and that I spend a lot of time on it, both behind the scenes and in front of it. I want to see the success grow, the success of this channel continue to grow, and I want to see our contributors find that success as well. That is like the be all end all to me, is to be able to tell people about who's here and who's like loving what people are saying on this channel. So that's honest to God. Like, I know now it just feels like I'm backtracking about the money comment, but no, I really do. I love it when I get to see like anyone who's on this channel, not named Joel, Jeremy, or Kate, do really well. That's my bread and butter. However, if y'all want to give me money so I can go to Israel, that's a whole other conversation.
I'm gonna start just skimming money off the top and keeping it.
Good for you, Jeremy.
Yeah,
good for you. Treat yourself by screwing others. It's fine. Anyway, yeah. So
I got more kids than you, Joel Pearl. I need to take more than you do.
That's valid. My kids are younger. My kid is younger though. So I got.
So?
Oh, okay.
We'll just hand you down all of our clothes and toys and stuff. Then you don't have to pay for anything. You'd be good. We need all that money.
For what?
For all of it.
For all of it?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I live in a very
bunch of ice cream. Do you know how often this ice cream truck? I hate this ice cream truck. By the way, hate it with a passion. I'm gonna punch this ice cream person in the face next time I see them. Because they learned one day.
You're the biggest mark to them now. They know. They're like, oh, 305. Here we go. Jeremy and the kids gonna get them all. Yeah, let's go.
They learned that there are just like kids on this street, like just multiple kids on this street. Like the houses are just kids all over the street. So they come down here every single day. Every single day, without fail, they come down this street. And they didn't come down until like last summer was the first time they came down. And that's when they learned, oh, there's a bunch of kids on this road. Oh yeah, we're going to come every single day. And it does not matter how often we tell these kids, like, no, we can't get this every day. Do you know how expensive this ice cream stuff is? By the way, it's like $25 for all of this stuff. You get the melted SpongeBob face where the gum isn't actually gum and everything. The ugly looking Sonic and stuff. Ice cream is wrestling. I need CM Punk to come out here and start paying for my damn ice cream. Is what I need. If Punk really wants to get back to the wrestling community and do something kind for the wrestling community, he can come here to Ohio, and he can start paying for all of this ice cream that all these kids want every single day, because this ice cream truck doesn't stop coming here because it knows there's kids all over this street. I'm sick of this ice cream truck. I'm sick of it, Joel. I'm spitting all over the damn place. I'm losing my mind over this ice cream truck, and every single time it comes down this road, and the kid's like, can we have the ice cream truck? Can we have the ice cream truck? Can we have the ice cream truck? So we got to buy the ice cream for like Walmart and be like, no, we have ice cream in the freezer. Go get one of those. Go get a popsicle out of the freezer. We cannot get this $10 damn ice cream every single time this ice cream truck comes down our road. All right, it gets expensive. We gotta pay for other stuff. Fuck you, Mr. Ice Cream Man.
I just got a message from the anonymous ITW GM saying, "Oh, this effing ice cream truck is the bane of my existence." So I guess the anonymous ITW GM has a similar story to yours, Jeremy.
Spit all over my computer. I was rolling there, rolling. I hate this ice cream truck with a passion.
Hey man, you get any hotter, that ice cream is gonna melt all over the place.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. What are we talking about
All right.
today?
We'll start with Ryan Lambert with the super chat saying, "Can't confirm Jeremy with the top tier Lambert. Love y'all. We appreciate
you're the best, Ryan. Appreciate
you. Let's oh my god, there and another one from Ryan saying ice cream coming more than beer. That's true. We may as well get a little bit of wrestling in. You saw that promo on Monday. I don't want to get into the weeds on about it, but I want to talk about how ridiculous that promo was.
I didn't like understand. So I saw part of it. I was actually doing an interview Monday night during this promo PCP Crazy effing Manny, I guess. That's gonna air tomorrow on the Spotlight. He was fantastic, but I had Raw on in the background while we are doing this interview, and I looked up and it looked like something like CGI, like Sparta nonsense with like the fake rain with Jinder Mahal and stuff. It was super weird. And then I saw that, oh, here comes what are they called again? Indus-Share. They're coming again, even though like they've been good on them for coming so much. Like, you know, they're well taken care of, so that's always good. But what are we doing here with them? They literally have no idea. They found out that like this coming thing, like pops for people. And then it's like, we're just going to keep doing this. This is hilarious. And so that's just what they're going to do. I honestly respect it. It's a funny bit to me.
It's a very funny bit. And it's just absurd. It's Emelina, but it's Indus-Share-Alina.
It's sure. Yeah. Indus-Share. Emelina. She's doing well too. Emma. That's been
whatever. She had a match. She doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's how many times you show up on TV, right?
Yeah.
Figured. Yeah. Chi-Town Spurs, by the way, on the ice cream front. It's all gone downhill since they discontinued Choco Tacos.
I'm gonna have to get ice cream today of just like for bit purposes to post. Everyone follow me on Twitter, please don't. But I'm post can't just post the pictures of the ice cream. Be like, look everybody, I'm a great stepfather. I paid $25 for all of this ice cream. Me and the ice cream man are friends. I'm gonna take a picture with the person in the ice cream truck, us shaking hands, code of honor, code of ice cream.
You can't buy me ice cream, man. That's how it works.
Oh, that's Hot Dog Man, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Such a good song. That's what I should do. I should actually that's a waste of money though, just to throw it on the ground. That's complete waste of money. The wife is over here messaging. I'm eating ice cream right now. Baby, it is 10:30 in the morning. What are we doing out here?
I mean, I had an oatmeal chocolate chip cookie for breakfast. So
a cookie? Well, I thought you would say pancake. I misheard. What are we doing?
Oh, that would have been great. Yeah, no,
Did you see Megabyte Ronnie is out here eating like pancake tacos? These things look delicious.
Yes, they are. It's a food challenge up here in Canada. I was hoping that Ronnie would be coming around Toronto, but if he is, he's not coming like soon. But yeah, he's trying to do some content, and I'm a big fan of that. So looking forward to seeing Ronnie's YouTube content start to evolve in the eating front. I want some tacos now. Anyway, so yeah, Indus-Share.
Yeah, sure.
Indus-Share tacos. We got to pick one to talk about. I really like chicken tacos. Yeah, this is
tacos.
You want to talk about tacos instead?
Yeah.
All right. Were tacos better than Raw this past Monday?
What happened on Raw?
I mean, that is a general comment made by most people.
There was a fight backstage, allegedly.
It wasn't a fight. It just it sounded like an argument between people about something that happened. And like, I'm not going to speculate as to who said what to whom, but by the ways it sounded from the Fightful Select report, it was just like, yes, they got backstage, someone was upset about something, they yelled about it, and then they went home. And that just sounds like the next day someone texted the other person and said, sorry, bro. And that was it. And then they hugged, and then they played the 90s Full House music in the background as they made friends again. That's all that sounded like to me. Big
Who
fight.
do you think? Who do you think would win a shoot fight between Judgment Day, Rollins, Owens, and Zayn?
Dominic Mysterio will pull out a shiv having been in jail and just take everyone. There it is. That's the only answer I will accept.
I got a frozen Reese's. This is my ice cream.
Delicious.
Oh, frozen Reese's are so good.
I've got one thing. This is for later. This is a Cadbury Dairy Milk bar with mini eggs in it.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That's for later.
Now Rhea's not in this shoot fight. She's not in it. She's cornering Judgment Day. I guess the other group has to get somebody in there. I guess Becky can corner them. But they Rhea and Becky weren't involved in the actual match on Monday.
Okay. So hold on. We'll think about this logically. Priest was a bouncer before he started wrestling, so he probably have a few tossable moves. He was also much bigger back then too, because I think he said he was like in the late 200s in the weight category. He was a big dude when he started wrestling. Look up this has been shown on WWE programming before, but like look at photos of Damian Priest when he was like just starting out in wrestling as Punishment Martinez. He was a thick boy. He has leaned out tremendously since then, but that's probably the first guy I'd think about taking everybody out. Seth, Finn, Dom don't feel like fighters, scrappers to me. Maybe Finn a little bit, but
I think Finn.
You think?
I feel like Finn is trained like some jiu-jitsu grappling kind of stuff.
That's possible. Who else is there? Who are we missing?
Kevin will just like he'll just scrap, right? This seems very scrappy. I don't know if he has like legitimate combat training, but like I just seem like he'll go in there and just start throwing, you know?
I don't even think he'd do that. I think he'd be like, I'm out. He would literally just walk away, just like his interview with Sami Zayn and Alex McCarthy. Yeah. He'd be like, no, shit's awkward. I'm out.
No, he's not gonna just like walk away if his friends are brawl and stuff. Like he's got to be there for his buddies.
West Side Story style.
Yeah,
it's Rumble. I'm glad
snap coming through.
Meet Norma sent us a super chat. What's up, partners? I like to use Eggo waffles as bread for a breakfast, Sammy, with eggs, cheese, and bacon. Oh my god. WWE TV was poopy with Vince McMahon back. Excuse my language. No, you're fine. That sounds like a delicious breakfast sandwich, by the way. Eggo waffles with cheese, eggs, and bacon.
That sounds good.
It does sound good.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
I get it. I do feel a certain way week to week when it comes to Raw. I don't place all the blame on Vince, but he certainly, if he's changing things at the last minute, like he was for quite a while for the last couple of weeks, some of those things are stupid. But I don't know. I'm not down on WWE TV as much, but obviously, it's subjective entertainment. So if you're not watching, that's fine. You're supporting us here, and we appreciate that very much. Meet Normus. Thank you.
I don't think Raw has been like bad or anything. Like the problem I have with it is the problem I think maybe a lot of people have with it is that like 3 hours is just a lot. It's just a lot to take. Like SmackDown's just much more digestible for me because it is just 1 hour less. Like 3 hours is just kind of long, and it's tough to like keep attention for that long. Like I don't like long movies, things like that. I prefer comedy shows over like drama shows because they're a little bit shorter. It's just tough for 3 hours. But I don't think it's been like bad. Some of it's just been like, not a whole lot's happening. Like there's not a lot of engaging to me. But overall, it's not as unwatchable as it was during like dark days of like pandemic time. I understand no crowd and everything, but even like before the pandemic, there were some rough episodes. Even coming out of the pandemic too, it was like, man, some of these episodes just rough. Like there's nothing good. The crowd's not there. Crowd's been like pretty engaged for most of these shows, which is helpful.
Some of those 2019 Raws became a fight between who was more sour that week, Alex or Sean. because they would absolutely tear that show apart. By the way, I love, speaking of raw things that I'm enjoying on the show, the Alpha Academy segments. And I get it that if you're a War Machine fan, if you're a Viking Raiders fan as they are now, and you expect more from them and being maybe a bigger group of star tag team wrestlers than they used to be, I get it. Don't get me wrong. On its head, as they're performing, as they're doing this right now, this stupid letter jacket storyline that they've set up with Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders is so 1995 Monday Night Raw, and it's so hokey and so stupid that I love it. I laughed so hard with, like, you've got Otis putting on the jacket like he's Chris Farley of the van down by the river. He knew what he was doing. He knew that's what he was channeling. It was a fun, silly, stupid segment. They're fighting over a jacket. Guess what? It's happened before in wrestling on the WWF programming, no less. You know, they've done that with the Hart Foundation. People stealing jackets. Let's go. So what I'm saying here is that if you like Bret Hart, you love this story. Okay, I don't want to hear otherwise. What do you think of this?
I love it. Like, it is the kind of just like silly comedy thing that pops me, and it's not offensive or anything. And so that's the one thing, and they make it entertaining, and that's the biggest thing. Is like Otis is amazing. Like, he's hilarious. Chad Gable, I've been singing his praises for years as far as like personality wise, and I'll always reference this until the end of time, when Breeze and Woods would do the original battle for the brands on Up Up Down Down. This was like during pre-pandemic, during pandemic, whatever it might be. When they would do that, they would have like the wrestlers like do little like cut in promos for them to hype the matches on the Battle of the Brands, SmackDown vs. Raw video game, because they were using the real wrestlers. Gable was so good in these, so good, so entertaining, just like selling this video game match. And that's when I like really took a notice of like, oh, Gable is so much more than just like a really good wrestler, like just like wrestling machine type of guy. Like, there's a lot of personality to him, and I'm glad he's gotten to show it more and more through like the Alpha Academy stuff, because he's very funny in these segments. Maxine plays her role very well, and Viking Raiders are good to their super serious, tough Viking type of thing that, you know, okay, we want the jacket now. We're just going to make your life miserable, almost like the bullies in high school, even though the people with the jackets are usually the bullies in high school. So it kind of has that little vibe going on to it. I think it's great. And you mentioned like, if you're a War Machine fan, like I get it. Like, look, if you're a War Machine fan, bless you. That was a great team in ROH and New Japan and everything. That was like 6 years ago. It feels like they've been in WWE for a very long time. And like, if you couldn't accept the Street Profits thing that they were doing, the what was
The
the
challenges?
decathlon? Yeah. Like, if you like couldn't accept it, like that stuff, that was basically, all right, this ain't that War Machine, then yeah, you're probably not going to be able to accept that. And at that point, like, you just got to move on and just understand it's just a different universe,
And
right? Like, you
also,
can go ahead.
sorry, I'm only cutting you off to like remind a lot of people that if everyone is serious on your wrestling show, then nobody is serious enough on your wrestling show. You need this. This variety is helpful. This variety is exactly, honestly, what pro wrestling has been built on since not since inception, but for God, 30 plus years beyond WWF. Back in the territory days, there was always an entertaining storyline that people would remember, or entertaining characters that weren't super serious wrestlers. This stuff is in the undercard, and it gets people laughing and it gets people enjoyed, because guess what? Your world title segment is probably going to be super serious, unless you're currently MJF.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is coming out here with friggin'
Chicken
buffalo
wings.
wings.
That's right.
So,
But when he's challenged and when he throws down, he becomes serious. Things change. So that's kind of my feeling. But yeah, it's it's a feud. It's over a jacket, which yeah, it's silly, but like you're still laughing with these stupid segments. Come on, take a jacket.
I love Gable and Otis. They're fantastic. I love both of them. I actually want them more involved in like I want them doing stuff with Sammy and Kevin
We're
because like
bringing Dustin Rhodes back to the Fed, and he's gonna reprise his WCW. Yes, let's go.
I think they can like really play off of each other in a fun way. And I think that, like Kevin and Sammy could bring out like a more serious side to them as well after they do a little bit of like comedy stuff. I do want the best for Gable and Otis. I think they're fantastic and they deserve like these segments and just like the television time and everything. And I understand the people who get mad at like, oh, they're like, this is what they're doing with their TV time. Chad Gable should be this great wrestler who just wrestles everyone to death and just grapple fucks them and everything. Like, yeah, there's a spot for that and stuff, but like he's doing this. He seems happy with it in all the interviews. He could be lying, who knows? But like he's like, I love working with Otis. Like Maxine has been great. Like, and I'm getting TV time off of this, and I'm making the most out of the TV time. Sami Zayn is a great example of this, right? Of like he's doing the stuff with Jackass, he's doing the stuff with Knoxville. People are like, why is Sami Zayn doing this? He's so much better than all of this. It's like, look, there's only so much TV time to go around. Not everybody gets TV time. Not everybody gets prominent television time. Like you might just have like a 1 minute thing backstage. You might just be doing like a squash match. You might be getting squashed. Like that might be it. But like if you're getting like this kind of TV time, like it's clear that they trust you with this kind of stuff. It's clear that they have some faith in you with this kind of stuff. And all right, maybe it's not what you think I should be doing, but like I'm going to make the best of it and I'm going to have fun with it. And the hope, and it doesn't always work out this way, and it sucks when it doesn't, but like the hope is that, hey, if I prove myself in this position, they will give me a better position. And it does suck when it doesn't like always turn into something when it's like, hey, I've proved this, I want something more, and they don't get something more. But for right now, enjoy it, or you don't have to enjoy it, whatever. But like for right now, I'm enjoying it. I'll say that. Like I'm enjoying what Gable and Otis are doing. And I look forward to when they were working with Maxim male models, and I wish they'd get a little bit more TV time on there as well, because I think they knocked it out of the park with a lot of that stuff. Like when they were doing that, like I enjoyed a lot of that stuff. It's just fun, campy nonsense on WWE TV, which there's a spot for that.
Also, I'll point out in the chat, someone saying Vikings steal stuff to prove a point. Yeah, and what do you steal from the Alpha Academy? You steal their prize Letterman jacket. Yeah, it's a fight. Listen, are they arguing
They're
over
pillaging?
Yeah, they're pillaging. Are they arguing over a jacket? Yeah, but what's their most prized possession? It is the silly jacket. There you go. And then
I think it's great.
You got Michael in the chat, Michael Dammit saying, personally, I'd like to see Thea Hale with Alpha Academy than Maxine Dupree. Honestly, I'm fine with Cocaine Sentience Thea Hale being on NXT with Chase U, doing the Chase U thing for now. She's young, she's talented, she's got so much time left. Maxine's fine. I love the idea that Alpha Academy is taking someone who is not traditionally known as a wrestler, and they're, quote, transforming her into a wrestler. Whether or not it looks good, that's another thing. But it's fun, and I like it. And Grapple Fox is going to be the name of your OnlyFans.
What am I doing on my OnlyFans? This doesn't sound great.
Is it feet? It's feet.
I mean, I'll show my feet right now if we get enough. So I got no socks on. My feet aren't like pretty or anything. Like I don't feel like anybody actually wants to see them. I don't have good looking feet. I'll be honest with everybody. If you're into like ugly feet, then I'm your man.
Kate saying, let's not do all the things Vikings did. Well, that's fair. But if we're gonna steal stuff, that's a Viking staple. That's good enough. Could you imagine the creative room just being like, all right, what can they do? And like, well, what do Vikings do? It's like, well, they can't do that. No, we can't do that. Oh, pillage. They do the third thing.
Pillage,
like, all right, number 3 ain't bad. There we go. Sexy posters with Oreos for your only.
I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. I don't have any Oreos nearby. Otherwise, I'd give away a free preview for everybody. here.
You could do content with Allie at that point. Not sexualized content, but Allie the bunny does used to do Oreo tastings on her YouTube channel.
Rating ice cream from the truck on Grapple Flux.
In front of the truck. You go with your camera, you buy the ice cream, you rate it in front of the truck, and then you just throw it back in the truck afterwards.
I can do that. That's not terrible. I like that. I like
just that. Angry ice cream reviewer right here, Jeremy Lamb.
No one would subscribe to this.
People subscribe to some weird stuff, Jeremy. Come on.
Yes, but nobody subscribing to any of it. Wrestling on boats is good for the Viking Raiders. They should like beat people with like canoes and oars and stuff. That would be hilarious. I'm all for that.
Kayaks would be a little easier to transport. Canoes are very heavy. They're fiberglass.
They are. They're Vikings though. They're big, strong Vikings.
It's fair.
They can just shoot some cinematic stuff. I do want, what we need, and I know they've done this before. They did it with Gable. It was, who was it? Gable, Otis, Orton, Riddle. I feel like there's the Quiz Bowl thing. We need that with the Viking Raiders. We need the Quiz Bowl back. That ruled, and I want the Vikings in the Quiz Bowl.
You know what you do? You do a WWE cruise to take over the Jericho cruise, and the Viking Raiders are the cruise directors, the fun directors. Every day they're like, 5 a.m. wake up, it's workout time. 6 a.m. we're gonna pillage the island we stop at.
They need the Viking Raiders to take over the Jericho boat and just start. I don't know if it's safe to like toss people off of the boat.
It is not. I can tell you, it is very much not okay.
In a safe, fun, we're shooting this, haha, kind of way. I don't want anybody to actually, be harmed. No humans were harmed in the takeover of the Jericho cruise.
Buddy, It's the 7th deck on most of these ships. That's still a far jump.
Have you seen this death trap on the sea that they're promoting with like 20 levels of stuff?
Oh yeah, I think Pulowski posted that, and he was like, "If ever a time for a sea creature to come up and I never." And my response was like, as someone who's worked on cruise ships, that is my sleep paralysis demon. Working on that ship, even though I worked in entertainment, where like my times were set as like, you come on, you work the pool deck during the afternoon, and you play the bar at night. Like that was an easy gig compared to what a lot of people on cruise ships do. But like that many people where you don't get tips is
I don't want to.
Hell.
I don't like people that much to be around like that many people on this big old boat. I'd be so afraid of just like someone falling and everything. Like that looks absurd.
I don't even care about the falling, Jeremy. I care about things like norovirus. I care about getting sick on that ship because, again, having had the experience, when one person gets sick, everybody gets sick, and it's not fun. Especially noro, where it is a very I've never had it, but it's a very uncomfortable experience. Now do it on a cruise ship where you are stuck and you can't go anywhere, but you're going everywhere. It's not good. Yes,
that thing looked horrifying. There's like slides and stuff. Nah, that's. I think I've been on like one cruise ship when I was younger, and it was only a couple stories, and I was young. I don't even remember it. I don't even remember the experience.
Kate's asking about which cruise I worked in 2012. I worked for Princess Cruises, and then in 2016 I worked for P&O Australia. I was over there. Australia was a great time. I hated the drummer in the band. So did the rest of the band. The band collectively hated the drummer. Unfortunately, the drummer was also the band leader. So we got lucky because not only did the rest of us not like the drummer, so did everyone else in the entertainment department because the drummer was a misogynistic piece of garbage. So it was a whole thing. It wasn't very good. But the experience of going to Australia and meeting the people I met and working with, 3/4 of the band I was with was fantastic. And then, the 2012 ship was physically bigger. We were like in Asia and then in Alaska, which was fun. I've done a lot of really cool work traveling. That's kind of like my bread and butter. Is if some people take really cool vacations, I take really cool work trips.
When you were in Australia, did you play Pokemon Go?
Was it around then?
I don't know. I don't know what year this was. You just said years ago. It's been around for like 7 years, so
I'm trying to think. When my wife and I first started dating, Pokemon Go started. One of our like first cheap dates was like we had dessert and did a walk around playing Pokemon Go. But like that was years ago. We've been together for so it started in 2012. It was 2012? No, it started in 2016, 2015. So maybe, I don't know. Could have
do
been.
you have a Genghis Khan?
No. Was that really what you were trying to get to that joke for?
It's not a joke. This is a serious question. I'm gonna put this out there
Nope.
right now. Okay, so there's like a thing you need, like a Genghis Khan. I don't even know what the joke was on this, Joel. Like, is Genghis Khan funny?
I thought maybe it was a rare thing and you were just getting the punchline about wanting.
It is a rare thing because it's only in Australia apparently. So like it's very rare, but like you need it to complete these missions, and I'm trying to get one so I can complete the mission on here. So if you're in Australia and you got a Genghis Khan, please let me know and I will trade you something for it.
I'll see if I can find
all my Australian friends. I'm like, hey, you play Pokemon Go? You got a Genghis Khan? Can I get this?
Just talk to Justine. She's got plenty of time in her hands.
I did.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Talk
to Shaza.
You talk to Shaza.
Yeah.
Talk to all the Impact wrestlers who went to Wagga Wagga. Just be like, hey, which one of y'all play Pokemon Go? Don't bullshit me here. What's going on?
I'm gonna message Macklin. Like, hey, hope you're healing up. By the way, when you were over there and healthy, did you play Pokemon Go?
He's gonna be like, no, but Deanna does. Oh, that'd be hilarious. I think that would just be the bread and butter of all things. Oh man. Anyway, what else? Was there anything else from Raw that really stuck out to us? They did the Judgment Day fights. They did the Alpha Academy thing. Cody Rhodes came out and cut that promo where he said Brock Lesnar doesn't want to come to Buffalo, and I'm like, that's relatable. Nobody wants to come to Buffalo. I didn't get much heat out of that. I got heat from two people. One being Mike Straw, whom I love, so it was okay, and the other one being Ella J, whom I also love, so it's okay. They know that their city is not great. Come on. What do you think of the promo with Cody wanting to fight Green Eggs and Ham style Brock Lesnar?
He compared Brock to student debt, right? Like,
hard times, baby.
This is what Brock is. Look, man, if Cody's gonna eliminate student debt, then I'm all for Cody. Let's go, Cody. I'm on your side now. If your goal is to take out student debt, I'll vote for you, old Cody Reynolds. Shoot names out here. I'll vote for you if you're gonna take out student debt. Like, it was fine. Like, we know where we're going. I loved how it's like, I'm gonna finish this chapter that you started for no reason. And it's like, yeah, he just kind of like attacked me. He got mad because Cody was the main event and he had to go on first, right? That's why he got mad.
Yeah. That's been the whole story the whole time, and people are just like, why are they telling us this? It's like, well, they did. They literally told us the first week. You had what's his face, Corey Graves, being like, I was told by people that Brock Lesnar's angry that Cody Rhodes got the main event at WrestleMania, and then he got people on every Tom, Dick, and Pundit, as I call them, being like, what's the story here? We still don't know. And I'm like, the story was told to you. You just ratings reports.
None of this is important. Louis has told me he's got a couple of Genghis Khans.
Oh, here we go. Here it is.
I need to initiate a trade with you, Louis. This is the important stuff. Wrestling doesn't matter today. All right. No.
You got to make everyone happy in your family. That's all that matters here.
Yeah. This is it. Why does Joel's pundit voice Paul Heyman?
If I may have another volley, sir.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
I could do better with a little time. If there's one thing I can do, it sounds like an obnoxious Jewish man, Jeremy.
Cody, yeah, if it wants to eliminate student debt, awesome. Like let's go. We're getting Cody and Brock at SummerSlam. I think it would have been much better if Brock actually like showed up and attacked him on these shows. I would have much preferred that instead of like Brock still just isn't showing up. The one time he showed up, he got the Cody cutter, and then like he ran off and everything. Where's the adversity from Cody? I'm not feeling this being actual adversity. Not feeling it.
No, please stop the adversity train. I want to get off.
Student debt is actual adversity, by the way. That's real adversity, not a wrestling match. People who were 20, 30, $40,000 in debt so they could get an education, and they're being screwed over by the system of like, we're going to pause it. We're going to end it. We're only going to end it this much. Now we're not going to end it because the court says we can't end it. That's actual adversity, not fake wrestling.
But what you're saying is the only way to overcome Cody's adversity is not to beat Brock Lesnar. It is about Cody wiping out student debt.
I wish Cody would wipe out student debt, like actual student debt. I wish he would.
Could you imagine if he comes out and does the Dave Chappelle skit, the "yeah" skit?
That'd be hilarious, honestly. That's one of the best sketches. My favorite Chappelle sketch that's like kind of under the radar to me. There's somebody said busted titty is adversity. That's actually true. That's real adversity. That just makes me think of Brutalititties, who's in the spotlight chat a lot. Shout out to Brutalititties. My favorite Chappelle sketch, and I've tweeted this because like this is how my brain works when I see the discourse on Twitter, and I am like, should I jump in and like say something? Should I give my thoughts on this? Are my thoughts that important? It's the like 3-minute stand-up special that he does. He's like, I got a new stand-up on Comedy Central, but they're only giving me 3 minutes, and he spends like 2 minutes and like 40 seconds just like the walking to the stage. He's dapping everybody up and everything. Gets on stage, he's like, I ain't got a lot of time left. Y'all want to hear my thoughts on the war? Y'all want to hear my thoughts on Bush? All right, well, and then the buzzer goes off. Like, that's all the time I got. Thank you, everybody. And what, like, that's how my brain works when I think of like looking on Twitter. Is I'm like, y'all want to hear my thoughts on the Young Bucks? Y'all want to hear my thoughts on ROH? Nope, out of time. I'm done. I ain't giving my thoughts on any of that stuff. Moving on. But like, that's my favorite Chappelle sketch. I know the big ones that stand out and everything. That's the one my brain just like always comes to. What about you, Joel? Let's talk about Chappelle show sketches.
New Tupac is always going to be my favorite.
That one's
one.
good.
Though in the club, just my favorite. And I know Sean's referenced it 100 million times, but like I love that segment. That's a good one. By the way, Kay in the chat saying the loser of Brock versus Cody should have to pay off student loans. You know what? That's one time I need Brock to win because Brock is a much richer man and will do far greater things with far more money than Cody Rhodes would. Cody, listen, if y'all think Cody ain't running as a libertarian in 2038, I don't know what to tell you. He's out here giving stump speeches every single Monday, and y'all are just like, oh, I love him so much. Chi-Town Spurs sent us a super chat saying, you guys are hockey people. I've checked out of the Hawks, the Blackhawks, since the major scandal. How good is this Connor Bedard guy supposed to be? Jeremy, talk about it.
He's supposed to be really good. Like I've watched some of his highlights in juniors and everything, and he's like setting junior records and everything and whatnot. Like you never know how this is going to translate to the NHL, right? And he's not going to be playing with as good of players in the NHL. Like the Blackhawks just don't have a great team, and he's going to be playing against better players, more more developed players, like skill wise and physically and everything, better goalies and whatnot. But like, I expect him to be really good. I don't know if he'll be as good as like McDavid, because McDavid feels very generational, and I don't know if we're getting like 2 generational talents within like 6 years of each other. But he's got all the talent out there, so I think he's going to be really good. But he's in Chicago. Like, yeah, fuck him.
He's stuck. If he's so good, why isn't he playing in any summer leagues? He could be playing in a local beer league and nobody knows. That's the best part. In like the middle of nowhere, Canada, where people are just like, "Oh, Connor, hey, go enjoy that game and have some teams after the show, eh?"
What was that?
That was a Canadian. That was a very, very traditional East Coast Canadian.
You're already Canadian. What are we doing like fake Canadian accents from a Canadian
Look,
for?
I'm a Toronto Canadian, so it's a little different for us. We like have proper enunciation.
So you making fun of every other Canadian who isn't Torontoan?
Every chance I get, yes.
What's your least favorite major city in Toronto or in Canada?
The guy who's from this comment right here, it's absolutely Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.
Is Hamilton a major city? Legitimately asking.
Hamilton is kind of considered a major city. It's 45 minutes away, but it's not great. It's not.
I only know major cities from like hockey towns, right? So like Montreal, Vancouver, Toronto. Quebec doesn't have a team anymore, but like I think of that.
They used to.
Right, exactly. So like if it doesn't have a hockey team, I just assume it's not a major city. Calgary, Edmonton, like those are the major cities. I think I got all the Canadian teams out there. But like yeah, if it doesn't have like a hockey team, Winnipeg has a team. If it didn't have a hockey team, I don't consider it. Ottawa, that just they don't count. Let's be honest.
By the way, Quebec is a province, but there is Quebec City, Quebec. Yes.
I don't know city, province. You guys are weird.
This is something
kind of
Spurs in the chat was saying. Quebec is a province, and yes, Quebec is a province. But yeah, that's that. There's a Quebec City. I've been there. I was there for like a 8th grade graduation trip, I think, something like that. Fun time. I don't know. I'm not great at having visited my own backyard in terms of travel. I like Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa is where I grew up. I've been to Calgary. I've been to Vancouver. Have not been to Saskatoon, the site of tonight's AEW Dynamite, where if Kota Ibushi decides to make his debut in Saskatoon, that's going to be a real moment for me. Or Regina. I've never been to Regina either, but
that's not a real place.
It's not. It's really not. Those 2,000 people were all from Saskatoon. They just made a road trip to like an undisclosed Area 51 style location in Saskatchewan. That's all it was. By the way, if you are Calgarian and you want to go to AEW Collision this week, I read that so right now it's Calgary Stampede, and that's a really busy time to be in Calgary. Insofar that around the Saddle Dome where they're doing Collision, there is a big fair and a big like celebration. It's kind of like if you're in Toronto and you want to go to a concert at the amphitheater, and then the X is in town, the exhibition. You can get in with your ticket to the Stampede with your Collision ticket. So if you have a ticket to Collision, you can get into the Stampede grounds, and you can go and hang out at the Stampede grounds before going to Collision. Much like in Toronto, you can get into the X with your random concert ticket that you're going to that night, because you have to get through one to get to the other. So if you're going, or if you're thinking of going, there's your idea. And I think tickets are like $25 now. So and like the tickets for Stampede are double that. So there's your in for Saturday night activities.
Look at Joel shilling the AEW product and the Canadian product out here. You get that? Is that check in the mail? Did Tony send you that check?
It was a DM directly from Tony. It was CC'd Will Washington. Some reason Serpentico's on this, not RJ City though. I don't know what's going on, but
RJ City doesn't like you, so
I can't blame him.
Yeah, me neither.
He had to deal with my ass for so many years in this city. I don't know how he did it. See each other at all the shows, just like, hey, how you doing? He'd be like, fuck you. Okay. See you next time, bud.
You pissed him off last week asking me to send him an unsolicited DM to get him on the show, and now he's angry at us.
I think RJ City is just upset that our show does better viewership than stuff he posts on his channel on YouTube.
Oh, on his channel, sure. I was about to say it doesn't. I mean, hey, EW is like dead because MJF burned the set. I'm pretty sure that set gets destroyed. So. That's got to cost a lot of money to replace that very expensive set every single week.
Who's going to break the on-air sign this week?
Who's on the show this week? Do we know?
We don't know yet.
Oh. Can he just have Danielson back on the show? That's all I care about.
Send him a DM.
I get so many headlines out of that. Can you just like have this person back on the show? That's all I want.
Is this a bit? This RJ City was a rich house cat in a past life, because I really like that comparison. Oh, that's funny. Don't defend
I
Hamilton.
thought A-Shock was AI. Isn't that what we determined? A-Shock is AI. Like
Yes.
that's
yeah. A-Shock, if you're not AI, donate a super chat right now. All of you. That's how we know. We know that you're not AI if you donated a super chat right now to this show. Oh man. Yeah, maybe our set. I should just get a green screen and just be flames coming up. That should be my set now for this show. Things on fire.
I will not work myself into a shoot of setting something on fire
Please
around
don't.
here.
Please
No, that will not go well. I've worked myself into multiple shoots on the show and gotten myself into like bits that I had to cash in on, but doing anything fire wise will not be one of them. Will not be one of them.
Before we talk about Nick Wayne, I want to bring up two things from WWE, and then we'll shift over to AEW. First one, Judgment Day is fine. They're clearly all best friends again. Nobody's arguing. Finn came out at the beginning of Raw, and then by the end of the night, they were hugging and hawing and loving each other. And then last night on NXT, same thing. They were all hugging and besties again. Judgment Day is fine. What do you make of this? Where's this going to go? Is this a tag title match at SummerSlam, or is this a eventual breakup sooner than later?
It does feel. It's got a message from the wife of like absolutely not setting anything on fire. What if I like went outside and just set like a piece of paper or something?
Stop it. Stop trying to make this bit
right?
happen. First of all, we're trying to get money for feet, and now we're trying to get money for you setting stuff on fire.
What if Joey Janela and I set our feet on fire?
Okay, I'm listening again.
Just me and Janela will just set our feet on fire, and I have no idea where it leads. I have no idea what the point is, but what if we do that? Okay, there we go.
I'm fine with it.
That's what Janela. In high school, my friend had a lighter, and he sat behind this one kid. And as you know, that's how it typically works in high school. You sit in your row. I did do jumping jacks, and I did pour water all sexy on myself. So he sat behind this one kid, and he had his lighter, and the teacher's teaching and whatever. We're not paying attention to her. And he's like showing me his lighter. He's flicking it and everything. And he like holds it up to the back of this kid's head. And he literally set his hair on fire in the middle of class in high school. Just set it on. He had like short hair, so it didn't like singe. It didn't like go crazy like Michael Jackson or anything. But like he singed this kid's hair just in the middle of class because he was showing me his lighter. And just that's what happened there. So
one of those Zippos that like automatically turn on when you
yeah. It legitimately was. It was a Zippo. He was very, impressed by his own lighter. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, lighters never really did anything for me. And then he just, set this guy on a fire in the middle of class. The kid never knew, by the way, like didn't turn around to like acknowledge his hair had just been singed off a little bit. Just kept paying attention to the teacher like you're supposed to do. God, yeah. Why? I don't know. Wait, at Judgment Day, put the NXT North American Championship on the dirty one, Dom Mysterio, baby. That's what I'm rooting for. That is what I'm rooting for. I want Dirty Dom winning this. I want Dirty Dom facing Ali at Great American Bash so he can beat Ali as well. They screwed up with Solo. They gave him that title, and then they were like, never. Let me take this back because we don't actually know what we're doing here. I want Dirty Dom with this title walking around on Raw and SmackDown. I think they're on like every single show nowadays. I want him on like all these shows with this NXT North American Championship. That's what I want.
I'm sorry. What? Say that last part again about you wanted to sit on a what now?
Who's sitting on what?
Never mind. No, I misheard your last.
Clearly, point. I said that's what I want. I want him walking around, showing off the NXT North American Champion. Do you listen?
No.
Do you listen to anything on this show, Joel?
No, I don't.
We've had this conversation before.
Have we?
Yeah.
When?
A long time ago, but you don't listen to me, so of course you don't remember this stuff. I want Dirty Dom and Rhea with their 2 titles, just doing Dirty Dom and Rhea things with both of their titles. That's what I want. That's
Do you want
all
them?
I want
Do
in
you want them
life.
to recreate the Sammy Guevara Ty Mello TNT title bed shoot?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
If that's what they want to do with their time, that's that's what I want. I want the I don't know what they're into, right? Like I'm not here to judge and act like I understand what they're into. It's seeing they have a personality, and I want the title the wacha wacha wach. Like that's what we need. That's what we need, baby. Dirty Dom and Rhea just wacha 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 with these belts. Let's go.
I mean, I do want to see
Some
Dom win.
kinky shit right there. Let's get Snitsky back on here to talk about this stuff.
I love how he's just like, I'm not going to talk about the dungeon in my basement where my wife and I practice these things that I'm not actually talking about. Oh God. Please tell me there was an article written about that so we can slander Snitsky and not slander, support. God, Dom winning the North American Championship, going on to Great American Bash and taking on Mustafa Ali is just a match made in heaven. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I want to see it now. Make it a triple threat. Get Wesley back in there. No? Okay, fine. What's Wesley going to do with the Great American Bash if that happens?
I don't know.
Cry?
Sure.
Okay, fine.
He lost. That's what he should be doing.
Oh, okay.
He should be upset that like he lost to Dirty Dom. So yeah, that's fine. If he just wants to sit there in the corner on as Dirty Dom is facing Mustafa Ali and he's just crying over there. That'd actually be hilarious. Rhea's like pointing and laughing. And Wesley's just like, no, I can't believe I lost. The Dirty Dom. Oh no. That'd be tremendous. Tremendous. You guys want your banger matches and stuff. Biggie, shout out to Biggie. You guys want your 5-star. Oh, Wesley and Mustafa Ali. That's gonna be a banger match. They're gonna go crazy. That match is gonna hump, as Sean Ross Sapp likes to say. This is gonna be great. I don't want that nonsense. I want stuff that pops me. That's why I want Dirty Dom with the title. I want him holding that belt around with Rhea. That's what I want. And they having like an adequate wrestling match. What adequate wrestling, baby? Fuck these banger matches. I'm tired of them. Everybody just has banger after banger after banger. Give me a match that's a nice foreplay match. All right? A little making out and stuff. We don't need to go full on banging and everything. Just some nice groping matches. That's the kind of matches that I want. If you just bang all the time, it gets a little boring. Everybody just has these banger matches. You give me a little over the pants HJ or something with some of these matches. We gotta bang every single time.
Are you making the case for buying customs? Because you can do that. You can pay wrestlers. There are literally wrestlers who will let you pay them to reenact whatever you're trying to pitch right now.
I don't know what I'm trying to pitch. This is what happens
when wrestling is boring and the news cycle is too in the days between our show. Yes, absolutely. Frantic World saying Jeremy wants to see some BDSM on WWE TV. Jeremy was a huge Basham Brothers fan. He loved Linda Miles. His favorite wrestler of all time is Linda Miles.
Oh, this is what happens when Joel is asking for thumbnail ideas at like 9:00 last night. And then he's messaging me like, what are we going to put in the thumbnail? What are we talking about today? I'm like, I don't know. Like Raw was like fine. Stuff is like happening on like NXT. Nick Wayne, that seems fun. Maybe we'll talk about him. We got 45 minutes left in this
we'll
show.
Be fine.
Oh, yeah, Nick Wayne, like talking about him and everything. But this is what happens when there's not like a central storyline to like talk about, where we're talking about this. God bless everyone watching this show.
Marky Duck saying, finally, we're talking about customs and apartment wrestling.
I'm saying.
That's right. Shout out to the Brits, I guess.
I'm saying.
Then finally on the WWE side of things, Diamond Mine last night. Sorry, it wasn't Diamond Mine. It was Ivy Nile, and then the only two hooded figures wearing the Schism masks in that background of people wearing Schism masks. They looked awfully familiar, Jeremy. I don't know if you saw. They looked like
I saw the photo.
looked like a couple of brothers, where one was taller and the other one was shorter and thicker. What do you think? Are they trying to take out Diamond Mine from the inside? Are they trying to do what the last guy who tried to do that couldn't do?
Sure.
I can't remember who it was. What story am I thinking of?
They lost. They're not supposed to be on the show. They gotta wear these masks to be on the show. Can we just like get them on the main roster? Like Diamond Mine's great. Can we just put them on the main roster? What are we doing with this? Oh, let's wear a mask and come around creepy backstage. NXT loves that stuff. They love their. I just pitched similar sort of stuff. Like that's fine if that's it, but go full bore with this. I need some like kidnapping and stuff with all of this. I love the kidnapping stuff, right? You get them in the van and you get them in the basement, and we don't need torture and whatnot, but like you got the mask on and you're like, you are here for a reason, and then you convert them. I don't know, what are they converting in over there in Diamond Mine? The Tony D stuff rules, by the way. It's
first time you've ever had a prepaid phone call from jail affect the outcome of a professional wrestling match.
Well, they tried to do that at the end of All Out 2022, but they missed their cue on that with the voicemail. But it was close. It was close.
Yeah, but it wasn't coming from jail. Oh my goodness. So I was trying to talk about infiltrating and destroying from the inside, and I was like, what storyline am I thinking of? That was Sami Callihan trying to take out the design, and then when he failed, Sami Callihan was like, I still did it. Step 1, infiltrate the design. Step 2, beat up the design. Step 3, the design is still there, but I did it. Anyway, that's basically the same thing.
Well, now the designs having issues, right? They're coloring outside. They're coloring outside the lines and everything. Like the design's not good.
Yeah, but like they broke up because Angels and Deaner were getting at each other.
But why is that? It's because Sami Callihan planted seeds.
No, because they kept winning matches until they started losing every match. It was just not good. It's very
they got mentally screwed over by Callihan and they started losing.
I don't understand it. I just don't understand. Anyway, so Diamond Mine is going to either infiltrate Schism, or I assume we're going to do a rematch, and I've been saying this since the beginning, at Great American Bash, and it'll be Diamond Mine. It'll be the Creeds versus the old GYV, and then they'll get the win back. And
what are you doing with Schism? Match. What are you doing with Schism, Joel?
In what way?
You're the leader. What are you doing with them?
I told you I used my $7 on my greatest acquisition. That only brought me so far. I'm in the video game now, so I can get another $7 and I can bring in another member of the family. He's got a little baby. Rock's got a little baby. I can get the baby, and then the baby and I can run roughshod all over NXT.
Paying $7 for a baby is illegal, I'm pretty sure.
Not in Florida.
I'm pretty sure paying $7 for a baby and having it wrestle is very illegal. There's a South Park episode about this. Like,
yeah, but it's illegal. Not only is it in the state of Florida, but the baby is also a girl.
Yeah, this is not legal at all.
I don't know. Worked with the daughter. I guess she was 21.
None of this is good, Joel.
Well, neither is whatever we're doing with Diamond Mine. So I'm guessing that it's going to be Diamond Mine versus GYV's, the Dyad, in some sort of like unsanctioned outside match in Texas. It's all I can think of for those four, again, matching up. Right? Can't put that in the ring. You can't just do a regular wrestling tag match.
I hope they have a Cash Me Outside. How about that match?
Was she from Texas?
I don't actually know. She tried to be like a rapper. I forgot her name. What was her name?
I don't know. Just write out Cash Me Outside Girl, and I'm sure the first thing will pop up is her name, which, by the way, is Cash Me Outside Girl. That's strange.
Yeah. It was what Bad Baby was her name. But
That's
she
not her
spelled it.
legal name.
Yeah, it is. She was from Florida, so it still ties together.
Oh,
Uh,
bad. Yeah. Oh my God. This is like
yeah, BHADBHABI.
Batty.
Bad
It's
Baby.
like Billy Batty, but much worse. By the way, yeah, Danielle Bergoli is her real
Yeah, that was her real name.
is her
Yeah.
government name.
What is she up to
Who
nowadays?
cares? This is awful in
In
every
September 2021, she launched her own record label. My God.
bad music, by the way, which is very
Bad music. She has her own record label?
of course she does.
Bro, she was
Everyone has their
on
own
just
record label.
she was literally just like she was on Dr. Phil and said like one line, and now she has her own record label. America's like the worst country in the world to like
Yup.
allow this stuff to happen.
This is why I continue to tell people stop letting viral moments dictate popularity. They're moments. Let the moments die. Leave the moments alone, okay? Bad
Just
Baby. It's like Bad Bunny, but much worse.
Bad Bunny rules. We're not gonna
Bad Bunny
start.
rules. I want to
We're
see
not
those
gonna
two
compare
team
these
up.
two at all.
I want to see them team up on a diss track together. They're just dissing Dr. Phil.
King of the Road match sounds
Love it.
awesome. I'm
That
actually all
rules.
for that. Yeah.
Done. Tag team coal miners glove match. No, do a King of the Road match. What are they driving? What are they driving in? Is it a flatbed? Is it like one of those community pool trucks like on The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah. It's gotta be. Is there like anything that fits with like I feel like it's just maybe like an 18 wheel. It's like a ring truck because that's Diamond Mine, like they like to fight and everything. I don't know what the schism guys do. Like you're gonna just have them
Walmart
fight in a
trips.
moving dungeon or something.
Walmart trips and a couple of Party City hats and things, It's a Party City street fight.
Ice cream truck. I'm gonna punch the ice cream person in the face today. I swear.
It's gonna be so confused.
I swear that ice cream truck comes around here today.
Anyway, let's talk about Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne is making his debut tonight in Saskatoon on Dynamite. He's gonna take on Swerve Strickland. I'm excited for this match. There is a history there. Those two guys tore up the Phi. They've been around the South, the South, not the Southwest, the Pacific Northwest. That's the name of the area of the United States of America that I'm thinking of. And Nick Wayne, of course, is the son of Buddy Wayne, who trained Darby Allin, which is why Darby Allin is part of this longer story. Darby and Swerve have a history. Darby and Nick Wayne have a history. Darby gave Nick Wayne his AEW contract at a Defy show a couple of years ago. Said, when you turn 18, the world is your oyster. Didn't really say that, but something along those lines. What do you think? Nick Wayne tonight, it's going to be his debut. This is a really big deal for people who know about Nick Wayne, but let's maybe catch people up to speed who may not know who he is and what makes him good.
So I thought they were very smart by airing that video package last week. And I listened to an interview with Darby Allin. The story's up now on Fightful.com, where Darby was like, I pitched this. Like I wanted I wanted this video to air because like, why are you just going to put him out there cold against Swerve? We knew this match was coming for a while, by the way. Like Nick Wayne signed like 2 years ago, I feel like. And then they announced this match earlier this year of like, hey, when he turns 18, the first day he's 18, basically, he's going to have this match against Swerve on the July 12th episode of AEW Dynamite. But I thought the video package was very smart because let's be honest, like, how many people know Nick Wayne? Obviously, the hardcore fans know Nick Wayne. How many of the 900,000-ish that watch AEW know Nick Wayne? Certainly, maybe a ninth of them? 100,000, 200,000? Like,
I'm willing to go that far. Yeah, I'm willing to say that.
Yeah, but less than half. Definitely less than half. Probably even less than a quarter. of them, maybe close to a quarter, but like they don't know him. So having the video package was really good, and having Darby narrate it of like, hey, here's who this kid is, here's his story, here's why he's here. I thought that was really good. I thought the video was really good. Shout out to Darby Allin for like pitching that, putting it together, and getting that on air because that was really smart. As far as like the actual like match and everything, we know it's gonna be great, right? Swerve's awesome. Nick Wayne, if you've seen him wrestle, you know he's great. It's a thing where like they could probably wrestle each other in their sleep because they've wrestled each other multiple times. They just had a match earlier this year, I'm pretty sure. Like they know each other very well. They're very familiar with each other. It's a little bit different in the fact that like it's now a television match, and Nick has to understand of like where's the camera, like what you got to hit different time cues. You can't just go out there and just have like a 30-minute, like I'm actually gonna look this up of like what their shortest match is against each other, because this is going to be their shortest match. This is not going to be a 30-minute banger, as again the kids like to say. Yeah, their match earlier this year in April was 36 minutes. It's just not gonna be that long. So they're gonna have to condense that a little bit, but it's still gonna be great because they're both great. And as far as like Nick Wayne goes, we've seen a lot of good indie talents over the years. And you mentioned like a lot of like viral moments and everything. We've seen a lot of indie talents have a lot of viral moments and stuff. It's like, why isn't this guy signed? Why isn't that guy signed? It's like, okay, well, what makes Nick Wayne actually different from these guys? And the only thing I can really say to that is like, you just got to watch a full match of Nick Wayne. Like, you're not going to understand what makes him different if you've only seen the GIFs and the clips and stuff. Because if you've only seen that, you're basically looking at him and be like, he's like Will Ospreay, right? He just does like Ospreay stuff. He doesn't do anything different than a lot of these other indie guys do if you just look at the GIFs and things like that. But if you watch a full match, you will understand the speed and the footwork and the awareness that he has, that the other indie guys, not all of them, but that a lot of them just don't have, certainly for his age. Certainly for his age. Like, that is where you will see what actually separates Nick Wayne. Because if you watch a lot of indie stuff, you watch a lot of GIFs and clips and everything, a lot of them try to kind of emulate the Osprey style, right? Like, that's what got kind of over. That's what has become popular. Osprey, Omega, Ricochet, like that's what's become popular. The viral moment kind of stuff. But they just don't do it as well. Like, they don't. They don't do it as well. And Nick Wayne does it just as well. It's certainly for his age. Like, he actually is up to that level of doing that kind of stuff. And now people are going to see it on a national television stage. And I'm very excited for Nick Wayne.
Yeah, pairing him up with Swerve is a really great place for him to start, because there is a familiarity there. We talked about you just talked about the matches that they've had, especially the longer ones. This one, honestly, give him half that time. Probably go over a commercial break, set up an angle afterwards. Whoever wins, let's say Nick Wayne wins. Hell, you know what? I wouldn't be upset if Swerve gets the win with a bit of nefarious means from Mogul Affiliates, and we start setting up the potential of doing Sting, Darby, and Nick Wayne versus Cage. No, not Cage, because he and Big Bill are starting a thing. But Gates of Agony and Swerve. Set up that as a possible trios match down the line, and then eventually we do an actual one-on-one with Swerve and Nick Wayne. But yeah, you said it. Nick Wayne, he's a young kid. He's just turned 18. He and Billy Starks is another one who's leading a bit of a rejuvenation project when it comes to young wrestlers getting their opportunities. Another guy out there is Jordan Oliver. Of course, he is GCW Tag Champion with Nick Wayne. They are the East West Express. Those two guys are tearing it up themselves. And who else is really young and out there? Starboy Charlie's another one. Just came back from an injury not too long ago, and he's been doing pretty well for himself. There are a lot of young talent, and that young talent is starting to get more of a shine in places like AEW, and that's a very good thing, especially when you have Nick Wayne and Billy Starks on their way up to AEW. It opens up the door for some of that younger talent to start coming in and making their way up the ranks as well.
When it comes to Nick and his AEW booking, I think a lot of people are going to want it now for him. And I understand that, because despite the fact that he's only 18, it feels like we've been watching Nick Wayne wrestle for like 5 years. Probably because we've kind of been watching him wrestle for 5 years. Like, Nick Wayne has just he's had a lot of matches, a lot of high profile matches in a very short period of time. I mean, the Ospreay match was a year ago when he faced Will Ospreay in GCW. He's been wrestling guys like Janela and for, again, it seems like for years now. It feels like we've known about Nick Wayne for a very long time, because he's been kind of at that level for a very long time. And I think a lot of people are going to want stuff immediately for Nick Wayne. And for Kato, apologies if I screwed up that name, said, are they going to give Nick a push right out of the gate? I think they kind of are, because he's facing Swerve Strickland in his first match. Here's my caution with this. Nick Wayne is 18 years old. He does not need to be the world champion tomorrow. He does not need to be the world champion a year, 2 years from now. And if he's not the world champion in 2 years from now, it is okay, because in 2 years from now, he will only be 20 years old. It is okay if he has not won a world title by the age of 20. That's all right, everybody. And I'm going to use a basketball comparison out of this, because I saw Mike from Indeed use a basketball comparison of like, oh, it's like my favorite prospect now getting drafted to the pros type of thing. I do wonder if my internet's cutting out as I'm about to make this great point. I'm good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to use a basketball comparison here. Is like, you've got somebody, take LeBron James. LeBron James comes in, all the hype, all the fanfare, blah, 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 blah. It's like, why doesn't LeBron win a title? Why doesn't LeBron win a title? It's hard to win titles. It should be hard to win titles. You shouldn't be able to do it in your rookie year, in your second year. That's just not how it works in real sports, especially when you're 18 years old. It's okay. Giannis isn't winning titles till he's 26. Jordan, the greatest of all time, wasn't winning titles till he's 26, 27. Like, it's all right. You can just have your great performances. You can build your way up. You can go through, again, you want to talk about adversity. Like, you could go through your adversity with losing matches, falling short, blah, 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 blah. When you were 18 years old, it's okay. I hope they have a plan for him. Win or lose tonight. You mentioned that, maybe he wins, maybe he loses because Mogul Embassy gets involved. It sets up a 6-man. I don't care if he wins or loses. I'm fine if he wins. I understand that. I'm okay if he just loses like a super competitive match. I actually don't want anybody like getting involved and stuff. I want this to kind of be just like a clean match. I'm cool if like Swerve wins and it's just like, Swerve's just the better guy. And that's okay. Like, this is a young kid. He's great and everything, but he's not on the level of Swerve right now. And that's okay, because he's 18 years old in his first national televised match. It's okay at that. And Swerve just wins, but just have a plan on the follow-up. I know I've mentioned that, I think earlier this week or last week. Just make sure you have a plan, win or lose. Don't just do, hey, here's Nick Wayne. He won, he lost. You ain't going to see him again for another month. Don't do that.
I think much like professional wrestling, the idea of a push is also very subjective. To me, a push isn't going for a title right away. To me, a push is being featured on TV prominently week after week, which is, or at least most weeks out of the year. And that is my interpretation of the question, in that, will he or should he be on TV most weeks? Yeah, I think Nick Wayne should be on TV more weeks than not, if they're really serious about his development and if they're serious about making him a focal point at least through the summer months on AEW TV. To me, the push is putting him in a story that has a logical beginning and a logical conclusion before he moves on to whatever is next. Swerve and whatever he does with Swerve and Darby, this introductory story needs to have an end in sight in order for people to be invested and know that this is a push that's worth following. Where it ends, I don't know. I could see this going until All Out, and then we kind of continue doing with Nick what we do. The 6-man that I just pitched could very well be an all-in match. All Out could be another one-on-one. Who knows? But my idea, or even do the 6-man, you could do it because it's Sting. You could do All Out as a 6-man with those guys. I don't know what to expect, but I do know that my expectations of how Nick Wayne is treated will come down to how serious they are about giving him a logically progressing storyline. It's not about the title for him to me. It's about, or any title for him. It's about how they treat him in the creative vision that they have for him and how that plays out.
What if the story is more of a bigger picture and it's not so, hey, you're tied to Swerve, Darby type of thing? What if it's just, okay, you lose to Swerve. Next week you face who's like a really good veteran who's been around, been on television. I mean, maybe it is somebody like Brian Cage or something. Like you face this person and you actually lose to Brian Cage. The following week you face maybe Stu Grayson. I understand that Dark Order, they just kind of got a victory and everything. I guess Stu wasn't part of that. Stu's like part of the ROH stuff. But regardless, you face like Stu Grayson. Like you beat Stu Grayson. And what if the story is just like, hey, he's gonna like not there to beat the top guys yet who've been around, who have the television experience and everything, but he's still clearly like good enough to beat some of these other guys and is above that level. And then you kind of build that, and then he finally does get this big win over somebody like a Swerve. Or he's built up enough kind of mid-level sort of wins to where he does end up, maybe he does end up winning some type of title. They got a million of them. Maybe he ends up winning one of those titles. Maybe he wins the TNT title or the international title, if Orange Cassidy's lost it, or he beats Orange Cassidy or something. What if it's more of like a big picture story instead of just being tied to like a Swerve or a Darby?
Let Swerve win tonight. He's the better man. Nick Wayne builds a whole bunch of wins on his way to All Out. Between now and then, Swerve beats Orange Cassidy, wins the international championship. You do Swerve and Nick Wayne for the international championship at All Out. Who wins that? Who knows? But Nick Wayne will have been a stronger competitor while the two were separated. However, you still got to do Darby Allin in there. Darby's still going to be a part of this whole story. Therefore, Sting is still going to be a part of this whole story. So like there's a connection there that they're going to want to ride in because of Sting. That's kind of my feeling. I see Louis in the chat saying Jericho. Honestly, if you're Nick Wayne and you're smart, stay the hell away. Say no to Jericho. Just say no to Chris Jericho.
He's gonna be in he's gonna be in Blood and Guts. He ain't worried about, old Christopher. What I don't want for Nick Wayne is he like has this great match here tonight, and then he's just like on ROH television for the next however many weeks. And Tony comes out and he's like, Nick Wayne and Commander at Death Before Dishonor.
Commander and Jericho. So therefore we got to do Commander and Nick Wayne because the winner gets Jericho. All of this is awful. I hate it. Let's do it. But yeah, that's kind of the Nick Wayne thing is interesting because he is the first big like getting a video package, getting a push. People have been waiting on it. This is a good opportunity for Nick Wayne. He's going to show out. It's not going to be perfect. Nobody is in their debut like that, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm cautiously optimistic that they're going to take the right and proper creative steps to feature him on AEW TV throughout the summer and get people invested in Nick Wayne the way that 1/9 of the viewership is that we're talking about.
I just don't want him falling by like the wayside of like an Action Andretti, right? Because what happened there, and now he's just not there. Like, and I understand injuries played a part in these next people I'm about to mention. Top Flight, though, it looked like they were about to be like heavily featured. Certainly when Darius was out, Dante was getting a lot of featured spots and everything. And then, they just keep getting injured, unfortunately, but they never really like followed up with anything on them where it felt like it should have. They just had cool banger matches and stuff, but there was no real follow up on this stuff. MK ASAP mentions Brian Pillman Jr. I don't think they really had any kind of plans for Brian Pillman Jr. And Brian Pillman Jr. again was not just put in a position of like, hey, go out there and just have great matches and the fans are invested in you and we're excited. He got out there, he got destroyed by MJF and then got beat by MJF. And then he did the stuff with House of Black. And like, could they have followed up and done like an actual better like match and follow up to that? Sure. But I don't think they actually had like any plans for Brian Pillman Jr. on that. Not like it seemed like they did with Top Flight and Action Andretti. Like, you don't give a victory over Chris Jericho if you don't want it to like mean something. And they kind of made that mean nothing.
That's what happens with Jericho, though.
I mean, it does, but that's, did you know CM Punk and Colt Cabana are side by side on the AEW roster page?
Good for them. That's usually how it works when you do an alphabetical order of things, Jeremy. CM and CO are quite close in alphabetical order.
They're going to sign somebody just to put in between them.
They're going to call him Chick Wayne just so they can have him in between the two of them. Nick Wayne is going to get renamed, repackaged.
What's between M and O? What's the alphabet?
N.
Oh, man.
So they're going to call him Snick Wayne. CNICK, Snick Wayne.
That's going to be tough to, I guess you could do CO, like what's something before L, like a letter before L.
Okay.
Who could be between them?
Cobb.
They need Cody. They just got to re-sign Cody just to get between CM Punk and Colt Cabana. They got to re-sign Cody just for this purpose so they can get him between Punk and Colt.
Cobb, Jeff is how they will do it.
Oh, CH doesn't work, guys. CH doesn't work because Chuck Taylor's there and he's off to the side. Yeah. Christopher Daniels is also there
because it's CM, right? So CM, so it's the M, and then you need an N, so you need CN to do it.
Or you got to have an O.
The O, yeah,
with a letter that the following letter comes before an L. They got to sign Cody. This is Cody's destiny to return to AEW, just to split Punk and Cabana on the roster page.
He's finishing the story. He's creating peace wherever he goes. That's the Cody Rhodes story. We'll have documentaries just shot all about him and his amazing abilities. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's the Cody way. Cody Wayne. It's like John Wayne, but it's going to be Cody Wayne because John Wayne was his dad's favorite actor too.
They're gonna rename Nick Wayne just to Cody Wayne.
Cody Wayne.
Who's another Cody out there that they can sign?
Cody Hall.
I don't know about that.
Very, very quick to get you that one.
Wrestler
is named Cody. Let's find out. Let's check on the old internet.
Okay. Cody Deaner. Just bring in Deaner and give him his first name back.
Deaner's got so much else, so many other things going.
There ain't. I mean, you could obviously just rename somebody, give them the first name Cody. It's fine. Yeah, there ain't a ton of like actual options here.
I googled wrestlers named Cody, and it's just a whole first page of Cody Rhodes.
No, you got to go to Cage Match. Just go to Cage Match and type in Cody. That's what I've done. There's like wrestlers named Cody. No offense to these guys, I've never really heard of them, so I don't. It can't, literally, unless you're just signing them to like, we just need a buffer on the roster page.
So, Crash Test Cody is my favorite one here.
That doesn't work though. Crash Test doesn't work.
You call him Cody, Crash Test.
Cole Carter actually does work because it's COLE. E is before T. So yeah, Cole Carter.
Yeah,
that one works.
Yeah, Cole Carter, the former Two Dimes.
Yes. Yeah.
Conor McGregor. Let's never do that.
Boy.
Cone Carter. Ice cream cone Carter.
Oh, I'll punch that man in the face.
And he runs an ice cream truck.
Somebody's gonna do an ice cream truck like gimmick just to like piss me off.
I hope so. I'm gonna send this particular episode. Really, the first 20 minutes is all we need. And I'm just gonna clip it. I'm just send it to every wrestler. I'm just gonna to Scott D'Amore. I'll send it to Dad, and he'll have an ice cream wrestler ready to go by next month.
Probably will, honestly. Probably will.
Fallout from Slammiversary will include the Ice Cream Man.
It should be CM Punk's gimmick. It's fake.
Did you see, by the way, that the Fallout they're doing Singing Shira versus Tommy Dreamer and Darren McCarty? They're gonna tape that match for Impact.
Good.
I am so excited. Now this is all, by the way, and we'll go back to AEW talk in a sec. But this we talked about the Diener replacement because Steve Macklin is unfortunately out of their match. Now they're potentially going to either write out PCO and do a replacement for him, or PCO is going to actually be in the match. But they're teasing that PCO is also going to be out of the match. So many people at that point just said, at this point, please just scrap the match. Just get rid of it.
I just assume that it's a bit and PCO is going to be there.
I assume the same. However, like maybe they'll have Tommy replace PCO, and then PCO shows up anyway at the match. Like he shows up at the end of the match to factor into the finish. But maybe. I feel like Tommy's coming back because they announced this stupid Tommy and Darren McCarty versus Singing Shira. Like, I feel like those 4 men, one of whom is already announced to be the special guest enforcer in Darren McCarty. But I feel like those other guys are going to be involved in the match somehow.
Tommy Dreamer coming in and doing his thing, and not PCO. Actually, no, they gotta have PCO there. Why is Impact spending too much time on this match?
Yeah, they are.
We're spending too much time on this match.
You want to talk G1, or you want to finish off the AEW talk?
Yeah, I was hoping to have somebody to talk about G1 today, but plans fell through as they tend to do in the world of wrestling.
You're
gonna take that out of the description, Joel Pearl, of the G1 talk because it was there. So
we can spend the rest of the show talking about AEW doing the preview for tonight's show. There's enough on the plate, I think, right?
There it was.
It happened.
Yeah, the good old internet collapse. It's gotten a lot better since I've changed things, but it's just a running bit at this point. It's not in the weeds show without the little collapse of the internet for me.
That's fine. I was saying we can preview AEW Dynamite. We can get through what's on the card. Talk about we got to talk about blood and guts stuff because that's big on tonight's episode. So, all
right, final prediction. I don't want to run down like the entire card. There's like tag matches, and I'm sure people are talking, and we'll hear from
but these are tournament matches. There's 3 different tournament matches, Jeremy. This is big. This is huge.
Jericho's going to face Commander, so he can
Ring of Honor Dynamite is back.
They can do like the cool spots, and people can praise Chris Jericho of like, look at Chris. He still got it. Justified. This is awesome chant for Chris Jericho and Commander. And then we won't see Commander on AEW television for like another 2 months. But go watch ROH on Honor Club on Thursdays. The blind tag. I do look forward to the MJF and Adam Cole stuff. That was really fun last week, I think. And no, they're facing Big Bill and Brian Cage, so that'll be a fun match. But let's final prediction on Elite and Blackpool Combat Club teammates, because they're going to be revealed tonight. Final prediction.
So Kota Ibushi for the Elite. For the Blackpool Combat Club, I'm willing to say Jericho, even though Jericho has the match with Commander, but they can easily bring him out before the Commander match. Is like, our 5th man who's gonna beat the shit out of Commander to prove a point now. It's Chris Jericho, and then dun 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 dun. Anyway, or Pac is the other one that people are talking about, and I don't mind the idea of Pac. It'd be nice to see him back. It's been a while, and it would reintroduce him hopefully for at least a few weeks onto TV. Especially as we start moving into the All-In conversation, since All-In's in his neck of the woods, and it'd be nice to see him on the card for that show in at least some sort of capacity. So this is a good way to maybe start that. But yeah, those are kind of my feelings. How about you?
It's got to be Ibushi for the Elite, right?
And is he in Saskatoon or is it a video package?
It feels video packagey. It doesn't feel like he's there. It feels, but maybe he is of like let's say it's Jericho and they're doing the big 5-on-4 beatdown, and then here comes Ibushi to make the big save. Video package feels a little like, I mean, everybody would be excited, don't get me wrong, but it feels a little underwhelming to just do a video package for this. And then his big debut is next week at the TD Garden and everything.
That'll sell tickets though for
Oh,
that.
it will. It 100% will. But like
First time you see him in person is when he shows up for Blood and Guts. They do the announcement, they do the Blackpool Combat Club, I'm coming for you or whatever on the big screen. Listen, Saskatoon, they're not going to really give a shit. Like it's not going to be the same, to be perfectly honest. If it was Toronto, different feeling, Kota coming out, people be into it. Saskatoon, this is no shade at them, but like they're not the same pro wrestling town. I don't know if it goes over the same way. So that's what
I agree. I understand that point of like, why is he going to come out? But like, it feels like you're doing a big brawl on this show, right? It's basically the go home show for Blood and Guts. Like it is. They ain't gonna be on Collision, folks. This is the go home show for Blood and Guts. It feels like it's gonna be big brawl type thing. So that's why I feel like video package is a little underwhelming on this. You need a strong kind of closer. And I don't even know if this closes the show, by the way, because usually they like to close with if Ibushi is there, he's making the save, yeah, it closes the show. But if he's not there, it doesn't close. You're not closing the show with like a video package type thing. You're probably closing with a wrestling match or something that hits stronger. But regardless, it's the go home for Blood and Guts. So it feels like it's bigger if he's there. The Pat call anyway, when it comes to the Elite, if it feels Ibushi, I don't know who else works in this spot. The only thing that I think works, and I don't even think it works, but like that kind of makes sense, is Mark Briscoe, because then you have the tie with the Claudio coming up at Death Before Dishonor, and they got to heat that up in some way, and they like blending. They say they're not going to do ROH storylines on AEW television and whatnot, but like you got ROH champions on AEW television. Having Mark in there ties it together and makes some sense. Obviously, the Elite guys are friends with Mark and stuff, so it works. I don't know who else is it's working on the Elite side. If it's not Ibushi, is there anybody else who you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense for the Elite? Cody
Michael
Rhodes,
Nakazawa.
Obviously.
Michael Nakazawa.
Takagi Nakazawa.
No, is there anyone who's Elite adjacent that would make sense? Or Bullet Club in that time adjacent? Do Ospreay. There's a new
Ospreay's not on the Elite side. He's not gonna be on the Elite side.
Well, there's a new respect, although Ospreay did have to use the screwdriver, so maybe not.
Yeah. I don't think it's that Colt Cabana. Hilarious.
Can you imagine if Boom Boom suddenly pops up? And again, going to the report last week about Punk being like, yeah, I'll do Blood and Guts. And then they bring out Colt Cabana as like the ultimate, like, oh, dude, that would be so much fun. Just the banter. And that is such a Young Bucks, that would be such a funny thing for them to do. That would be such a troll thing for them to do. But yeah,
I'm sold on the idea of Colt Cabana now.
Me too. I love it. Bloody man Colt Cabana coming out and just being like, I'm here to fight for you.
It'd be very underwhelming if it was Colt Cabana. People would be probably pretty disappointed. It's like we've all built up Ibushi. Like all the online stuff has built up Ibushi, right? And like now at this point, and this is through no real fault of AEW. Honestly, it's not. Like I don't think this is AEW's fault at all, because when Kenny does maybe it's a little on him, because when he does these post-show promos, he's more or less referencing Ibushi. But again, how many people are like seeing this? If you are a television fan watching this, then you don't really know who it is, and kind of anybody makes sense. Go ahead.
But this is the extremely online AEW booking. Like that's just what it is. And that's not like, I'm not saying this is like a totally negative thing. I think it could be better, but Yeah, it's so online and it's such an AEW trope that they do this every time that like that's why when you say Cole Cabana, like that really is something that the Bucks would do to troll everyone and like get the internet
It
talking and just
rules.
laugh about it. And it's just the idea rules, but it's so silly. And I'm sure a lot of people who watch the show and stay off the internet will be like, why? Ibushi, they'd have to explain it for those who don't know it. And that's the uphill climb. And it's not a big one. All they really had to do is talk about just the background of Kenny and Kota Ibushi and make something make sense. Release something, show us a video clip. I don't know, do something for Rampage, whatever it is, just put something else out there. And that's where I'd put it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that with Ibushi, and I guess they put it on Rampage. They should do something on Collision. They did something on Collision last week with Blood and Guts. I'm pretty sure. Like you can do a video package on that, and they should. Like they should have a video package on Collision highlighting Blood and Guts, highlighting assuming it's Ibushi, that relationship and why it's important for Ibushi to be there. Obviously, they'll do something online. They'll have some big, backstage exclusive, blah blah blah, or video thing online. They'll do that. But again, it feels like us as a wrestling community, we've built up Ibushi and AEW in the wrestling bubble. Certainly, Kenny with his post match promos and stuff has sort of built up Ibushi on television. They ain't really built up anybody. Like they haven't hinted at anyone. We don't really know who it could be at this point. We just know it's not Eddie Kingston, but they certainly haven't hinted at Kota Ibushi in any like huge way outside of like, hey, Kenny was gone. He wasn't in Canada. He just went elsewhere. Where was he? That's all they've really built on this. But it certainly feels like it's Ibushi or bust for a lot of fans. And because of that, yeah, I hope they have Ibushi to deliver here, and I think they do. By the way, I do think they do.
You think they're bringing Bushi all the way to Canada, all the way to Saskatoon?
I think he's there. Yeah, I think he's there. Yeah.
I hope he got to stop in like an actual city before before they
So you're thinking Pac for BCC? Is that your final prediction?
I wouldn't hate it just because, like I said, it reintroduces Pac at a time where you're a little over a month and a half away from a major event in the UK, and this was your first major international signing. This guy has been factored into your companies since the beginning. And people like him. People have always liked Pac, not only as a performer, but also just as a guy on the show, as a human being. Why wouldn't you want to start bringing him back and reminding people, hey, this guy's pretty badass. Remember him? People have been kind of clamoring for his return. I don't know what he's up to. We've heard so many times that like he does bounce back and forth between living in the UK and coming in for TV. But yeah, that's tough. It was in ways it was easier for him to work AEW during the pandemic because he didn't have to go anywhere. He just went home and to dailies, and the back and forth was probably the commute was a lot easier. But whatever's going on now, he's been taking his time in coming back or waiting on whatever's going to bring him back. So this is the opportunity to me to bring him back. Then what do you do with Chris Jericho? That's the major question I have. Jericho and Don Callis are clearly talking about something. I still think a Takeshita thing is on the horizon because, again, he's been on the silly talk show. He was on Talk is Jericho. Both of them were, which usually foreshadows they're going to work together real soon. So is that going to be the beginning of that story at Blood and Guts, or is it tonight? Do we start something? I don't know. But that's where my brain is at. Pac or Jericho? I'd like to see Pac better, more.
I'm not worried about Chris Jericho. What do you do with Chris Jericho, man? Chris Jericho is going to be fine in whatever he does. He'll figure out a way to get himself on television in some way, in some meaningful capacity. That's why I don't think he's necessary for this at all. And I understand they started the thing with Callis and maybe he comes in there with all of this, but like, I ain't worried about what Chris Jericho is up to. That's why I don't want him in this. He doesn't fit in this. You just let him do his own thing with the Jericho Appreciation Society, who's facing Darby and Orange Cassidy tonight. run back Jericho and Orange Cassidy for all I care. That's mean. I'm sorry, OC.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Apologies to you.
Yeah.
But like, let them just keep doing Jericho Appreciation Society stuff. Just do that. I don't want Jericho in this at all. I like Pac. I like that idea. You know, Elite broke his nose and everything in the best of 7 tournament. So, and I've been on AEW TV since then. Like, I do like that. I've worked myself into a shoot with the homicide thing. And that's where I'm gonna continue to champion is like, I think it should be homicide. He fits that match, he fits that environment, he fits the story with Eddie and Moxley that they're still trying to tell, and you can continue to tell that while Eddie is in Japan working the G1. So I've completely worked myself into a shoot with that. I don't think it's actually homicide. I think I'm setting myself up for disappointment if I continue to like, oh, it's gonna be him. I don't actually believe it's going to be him, but I do think that would be a good play from AEW if they decided to go that route. You've kind of sold me on Pac. Santana is somebody else who people have mentioned. I don't mind that coming back a year later, blood and guts to run it back for him. He's been training, working out. Looks like he's doing well, so can possibly see that. It's got to be Pac's a big name, and it's got to be like a decent sized name too, right? Like if you got Ibushi on the other side, you got to have like a top, and Pac's up there. Obviously Jericho is up there. That's why I don't know if like homicide like quite hits the same way. And same with Santana. Like, do they hit the same way of like, here's Kota Ibushi coming in? So you've sold me on it being Pac.
We'll find out tonight. It's going to be a fun episode of Dynamite. I think, judging from what we've seen on the preview, there's going to be some good stuff. Enjoy the Ring of Honor Dynamite finale of Commander versus Chris Jericho in the main event. Which, if they do announce Jericho, it makes perfect sense that everyone runs out afterwards and they do a big blood and guts brawl to end the show if Jericho is the fifth man. But who knows? We'll see how that plays out. Jeremy, we did it. We did 2 hours. We didn't talk about the G1. Maybe we'll do that on Friday. We got a lot of really fun stuff coming for Friday, so stay tuned. We'll be back at 10 a.m. Eastern as we always are. We have a super chat. I saved it for the end. Tom Talks Rubbish saying, thank you for being nice people. Thank you for letting me share why others love wrestling. Folks, please, during this month, while Tag Talk is on hiatus, we have our friend Tom Talks Rubbish doing his Loving Wrestling series, which is dropping every Monday at 3 o'clock Eastern here on the channel. Go check that out. Show Tom some love and check out his channel, Tom Talks Rubbish. We do appreciate the super chat. We appreciate you. And Jeremy, take us home. Get us out the plugs and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, shout out to Tom Talks Rubbish. Go check out Loving Wrestling. That's up now with Dom Smith from Soundsphere and WrestleSphere. And give me a whole They do some really great interviews over there. And Tom talked to him. I believe he's talking to Sam for another episode as well. So go check that out. It's on the channel now. Like Joel said, while Tag Talk is on hiatus, we will be running those every single week. And then all the other shows we got on the channel. I don't big spiel type of thing. There you go. Don't follow me on Twitter. Follow Fight at Fight Talk _. Friday, we do have a guest planned. Hopefully it goes through. I'm trying to make it a point to really be here because this is a guest that I was very excited to get. And I don't need to be here for it, but like, it makes more sense.
Here for it. I think you should absolutely be here for that guest. If we're able to lock you down and lock them down, we should be doing it.
It's very possible that like, so the guest is scheduled for 10:15. So they're just go and be transparent about that. It's very possible that like I just do the interview and then have to leave, and then SB3 jumps in on the show. But for I love all the guests. I appreciate everybody that comes on, does the show. SB3 is very good at this. He could talk to anybody we kind of book and it'd be fine. For this particular guest, it's kind of important that I'm here for this guest. So hopefully I'll be here all Friday show, or at least part of Friday show. But I'm super excited for this guest, and fingers crossed that we get it all. They show up. They show up. Everything works. I'm always very skeptical about that. I don't think anybody's booked until they're in the backstage area, and even then, internet issues. I think that's everything. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us for 2 hours when we had nobody booked today. A rare show where we don't have anybody booked, and it was just a couple of things fell through, and it happens. What can you do? But yeah, a rare show on that, but still a lot of fun as people listen to me talk about hand job matches.
God damn it. Thank you for supporting us here. We really do appreciate it, especially like Jeremy said, when we don't always bring in a guest, but once in a while, Jeremy and I just get to sit here and banter with you guys, banter with each other, just have some fun on a Wednesday morning, as it were, this week. We appreciate it. So tell your friends about In the Weeds, because we're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. This was a lot of fun. It always is fun, but this one especially, because it's just us completely unhinged talking about what we want to talk about with absolutely no direction in mind, but we got through it. I am at Joel Pearl, JOELPEARL. We'll be back on Friday. Until then, ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, we'll see you.